Oh, hello. I made some reaction videos on the Geography Now series, and someone commented that I should do one on the Netherlands since it came out 1 month ago. And since I've been living in the Netherlands for the last 15 years, something like that, I'm going to do a reaction video onto Geography Now, the Netherlands.
Hey guys, so this is going to be a little awkward. Why? Because 2 years ago, my Dutch friend Vincent, who used to do the animations before I regrettably hired Ken...
Wait, what?
He came and visited here in LA. Long story short, I promised him he could be in the Netherlands episode, so we pre-shot some footage, and this was the intro we made. I flew over, this guy, a real Dutchman, say hi to Vincent. Right here. Hey Vincent. Hey, look. Vincent, I know the Dutch are tall, but just step down from the box, okay? Just step down.
You get off of your box then. Good Barbie.
I can...
Yeah, for real though, Dutch people are very, very tall. Like, I think the average height of a Dutch male is 185 or something like that. 86, 85, 84, 85, something around that area, which is pretty tall.
Too much water, and some, like the Netherlands, have bridled the wild stallion and have learned how to control the water and use it to their advantage. Water is probably the most powerful element in the Netherlands, and without it, they would be, I don't know, pretty useless. So what do you say, 2000?
It just sounded like an Avatar intro. They've learned to master their water. Dun, dun. Earth, fire.
Water. Earth.
Water, stone, something like that.
16 Vincent.
En dan nu politieke geografie.
So yeah, stop calling this place Holland. That's just one part of the country, even though their country's national tourism website is called Holland.com. You're not helping us here, Dutchies.
The national tourist website is called Holland.com, while the only north and south, those are like canton/regions, are called North Holland and South Holland. So is right when it comes to not helping the people get this clear. Hence everybody's saying that it's Holland or Amsterdam. Some people don't even know that it's called the Netherlands. They only know Amsterdam, so they call it Amsterdam, which is really weird. But, you know, people do what they want to do, you know what I'm saying?
Besides being famous for making cheese and clogs, we also make our own land.
The country...
That sounded really, really weird.
Kind of has two capitals, Amsterdam, the largest city and economic hub of the country, and home to the Royal Palace. And just to skip over, the third largest city, The Hague, acts as the second capital, which holds the seat of government, as well as the International Court of Justice. The second largest city, though...
It's not two capitals. The Hague is just the capital of the Netherlands. Only people confuse it with Amsterdam due to Amsterdam being so popular and known around the world. But the city where the government is located is the city which will be the capital. So The Hague is the capital of the Netherlands. Correction on that one, Mr. Barbie, but it's okay.
Would be Rotterdam, which holds the busiest seaport in all of Europe. The busiest airport, though, is of course Amsterdam's Schiphol International, Europe's third busiest airport, carrying nearly 70 million passengers annually. Now we reach the overseas territories. Apart from the mainland European part, the country actually holds sovereignty over 6 other island entities in the Caribbean, remnants of the colonial past. These are collectively called the Dutch Caribbean. And here's where it gets a little confusing. Technically, the Netherlands is a country made up of 4 countries, the mainland Netherlands, as well as 3 other constituent countries, kind of like what Wales and Scotland are to the UK. They are Aruba, Curacao, and St. Martin, which is actually half of an island shared with the French overseas territory of the same name, but in French. This means that this one island is the only area which the Netherlands technically borders France. These guys...
I didn't even know that we had... Well, I knew we had those islands. I mean, the Dutch people have the islands, the colonial past thing. But I didn't know that St. Martin was divided by French and Dutch as like... 50-50 deal or something?
His waterways dominate the country, though. There's even a town with no roads and only canals.
I've been to that place and it looks awesome. I would love to live in like that place in Netherlands. It's freaking insane.
Notable spots to check out in case you ever visit. So many museums, but the
I'm working on a blog website where I'm just putting all the information out, like product reviews, travel reviews, or travel blogs, normal blogs, all kinds of stuff that I also make in my videos, but I also have blogs about it. It's going to be launched soon, so stay tuned for that. But in all my travel blogs, I try to avoid museums as much as possible because I don't think I don't know, if you're going to a foreign country and you're spending all your time in museums, there's seriously something wrong with you. So that's my opinion, but I'm not the type of traveler that goes to a lot of museums. Maybe one if it's really special, but that's about it. And that's why my travel blogs are sometimes really short, because I skip all the museums. I really want to see those things that are special in real life, but that's for another blog. But I mean, we have a lot of museums in the Netherlands, but I've been to almost every one of them because school obligates you to do so, but it's not really that special, to be honest, except for Nemo.
Greek philosopher Pythias visited in the 3rd century BC, and he said about this place, more people have died in the struggle against water than in the struggle against men. The Netherlands is really unlike any other.
More people have died in the struggle against water. Okay, that dude was probably high or something, because I don't think that's true. When it comes to history, I mean, looking at those mass fucking wars we had, I highly doubt that more people have died because of the struggle against water than against men. But hey, whatever.
Though the Walden Islands act as kind of like natural barriers against the sea, all this land reclamation has left many of the inland areas exposed to what are labeled as the largest open sand drifts in Europe. Keep in mind, they are not deserts, but rather strange, wet, sandy plots in the middle of Greece.
Yeah, there's one really near my house, like 50 minutes of driving away. A real big sandy thing with this. It just looks like Africa with those flat trees and shit. You know, it's really weird. But I go there often to walk with my dog because around it there's just a normal forest, a pine forest, which is really weird. And then you enter this whole big area with just sand.
Green shrubbery, a rare natural sight to come across anywhere in the world. So in a nutshell, the entire country is basically one big river delta.
We should hang out sometime.
Whew, so that's just about it for now. I gotta get my triple shot of espresso break, which means we need a guy who knows a few things.
Besides all the...
Why was the effect necessary? What the fuck? Whatever, okay.
water chaos, the Netherlands is quite a powerful nation considering its size. They rank in the top 20 largest world economies, usually around 17th or 16th place, and they rank somewhere in the top 5 to 10 largest exporters on Earth. In fact, they have the oldest stock exchange in the world, dating back to 1602.
Didn't that lead to like the whole tulip mania thing where people sold a single bulb for the price of like an entire ship?
That was not the stock market, that was just a socioeconomic phenomenon, and at its height sold for 10 times the annual wage of a skilled craftsman. Anyway, today, although they produce about 80% of the world's tulips and over half of the world's cut flower exports, their economy is mostly driven by the service and energy sectors.
Yeah, more by the service sector, because the Netherlands, it says that we export a lot, but we export a lot of goods when it comes, when looking at export is also all the products that are exported from the country, but they don't have to be made within the country. We also export products made from other countries. Because of where the Netherlands are located geographically seen, a lot of products are coming in there from America, etc., or have to go to America, but this is like the end station before going to America. When it comes to real products, I mean, the biggest Dutch brands, I guess, are Heineken, maybe Philips, and Shell. When it comes to like other products exporting around the world, and even though Philips and everybody have their offices located here, their products are made abroad. They just have the offices here because of the tax system for companies, which is really beneficial. Actually having products to export and producing products physically in the Netherlands is just really, really small. There isn't a lot of, let's say, hand labor like there is in other countries.
Top notable dishes you guys, the Dutch geography peeps, suggested we mentioned include things like various types of stamppot.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Dutch pancakes.
These things are fucking, oh my god, I love those things. These mini pancakes, and then the butter melts across them so they get all juicy, and oh, this is just, oh, it's so good.
Powdered sugar, apple tarts, bitter.
Oh, we skipped one, the apple pie, but it's like a homemade one, it's really good. And these little ball thingies, deep fried balls, I don't know, whatever the fuck is in it, it's kind of a soya meat composition thing, but it's really, really good. So I recommend you trying this if you're ever visiting the Netherlands. All the food is mentioning right now, you should try.
Ballen, split pea soup.
Okay, I don't like that soup at all. These sausages are, okay.
Rookwurst, Stroopwafels.
And these are awesome. I like these cookies.
So many potato dishes. Brined herring and smoked eel. Gin was invented here. Sorry, Brits. For breakfast, chocolate sprinkles on
Sorry, Brits. Gin was invented here.
toast is common. And the pride and joy of the nation, Gouda cheese. Yep, that's how you pronounce it, guys. Oh, and keep in mind, they used to be the largest beer exporters in the world.
Yep.
Heineken being their top brand until Mexico beat them in 2010.
Oh wow, cool.
Yep. We used to export Heineken, Amstel, Hertog Jan. Those are all Dutch beer brands. But Amstel and Heineken are probably the most known across the world.
It's also important to note that you will probably find lots of Indonesian and Surinamese dishes like satay or salted cod buns. A little cultural cue that hints towards the colonial past, which brings us to...
Thank you, Noah. Follow him on Instagram.
Yep.
Why are they using those special? Okay, I mean it's kind of funny though, but I don't see the point of it.
Okay, that just happened. Now, in Europe, you have all different types of people that operate with all different customs and ideologies. Here, they have two sayings that kind of sum up how a lot of their country operates. Meten is weten, and gezelligheid kent geen tijd. How was that, Dutchies? Terrible? Good? Well, you're gonna
That was actually pretty good for an American.
get what I give. Anyway, the country has about 17.5 million people and is the most densely populated.
Meanwhile, we're not 70.5. I think we were already at 18 point something. The last time they said, I think I saw it on TV not so long ago that they said we're past the 18 million mark.
Nation in Europe. About 77% of the
Yeah, it's really densely populated. We all live like in these homes in rows, like next to each other. Like there's barely any homes that are separate or have their own land or free. They're almost all the homes are connected to another home. It's just, I don't like that. One of the things I really dislike about the Netherlands, you're just living so close next to each other. And for example, we were living in a very nice neighborhood, but then we had also great neighbors. And then when the neighbors moved out and we got new neighbors, they were really fucked up people. And I don't know, making their drug lab and shit in their house is just really fucked up. And you have to deal with that. You either have to move out yourself or deal with that, because the people, the cops and all that kind of shit is not doing anything against that. So I think we called the police and had been in a whole project and thing to get those people away for like 2 years. Called the cops for like probably 30 times in those 2 years. It's just ridiculous what is going on, and there's nothing you can do, and they're not going to help you. Like nobody's gonna help you. You're just, that's also one of the reasons why we moved out to this new house. I'm living in a new house because we moved out because of that shit there, and that's really retarded. And I don't want to go through something like that ever again in my life. So living in a densely populated country like the Netherlands is probably not for me. It won't be for me. I'll probably leave the Netherlands, as I said in other videos, which there will be an update about in another video that's upcoming, but that's for later. Just know that that densely populated is not good at all.
population identifies as Dutch, to whatever extent that may mean, whereas 10% are other Europeans, and the remainder are made up of other people groups, mostly Turks, Indonesians, as well as the Surinamese, and surprisingly, even some Americans.
And Bosnians, Croatians, Serbians, ex-Yugoslavs. Hello.
They use the euro as their currency, they use the type C and F plug outlets, and they drive on the right side of the road. Now, we all know that Dutch is the official language of the Netherlands. However, if you speak English, you should have no problem at all visiting. Netherlands has the highest proficiency in English out of any non-English official country in the world.
That's also the reason why I'm actually speaking English very well, and also the reason, well, I've learned it myself, and I don't have a typical Dutch accent when it comes to English compared to the real Dutch, as you've heard in this video, like the guy that was there before. Fun fact, even the Americans that I talk with and Americans that have visited or hung out with me in Bosnia, etc., actually all said that I sound really American, and that English sounds way more natural to me when I'm speaking English. It looks and sounds more natural than when I'm speaking English or Bosnian. So that's probably true because I've been speaking English a lot in my like daily life, and I've done my studies in English. A big part of my job is English, so like coding and all the computer and technical stuff is usually in English. So that's true. But when it comes to English, yeah, a lot of people do speak English, and like it says comfortably speak English, which is correct. But when I'm looking at, when you hear like 80% of the Dutch people speaking English, it sounds like this.
We can say, okay, we have the spirit now, and we go looking at the upstairs and not downstairs.
People have to laugh about that, but a lot of people actually do speak that shit of English. They're comfortable with speaking it, and they can actually understand a lot, and they will try to answer, but they're not really good at it because of their accent and stuff. Well, they're good at answering or trying their best in answering, but the accent is just fucking horrible, man. But whatever, let's continue.
Somewhere around 9 out of 10 Dutch people claim they can comfortably speak English, and around 94% of the country is in some way bilingual. Geography Anna told me a joke. Many times, Dutch kids will ask their parents,
"Hey Mom,
Yes, honey.
why do we have to learn English, but the British don't have to learn Dutch?"
Because our ancestors decided it would be a great idea to trade New York for Suriname and one small island in Indonesia.
It's important to note, though, that there are 2 other regional languages accepted in Dutch society. They are French.
That's not really the reason that we're not learning Dutch, but we're learning, or the British are not learning Dutch, and we're learning English. It's because English is the most used language in the world, and as a Dutch country, a small country, as you can see, only like 18 million people, on such a small surface with almost no physical goods being exported, only services, you have to trade a lot with other countries. Therefore, you need to know the language in order to do business better. That's the reason why we're actually learning English, because otherwise we would be kind of fucked. Because, because we can't produce like almost anything ourselves. So that's the reason why.
Spoken in the northern Friesland region, and the other being Papiamento, a Dutch Creole spoken in the ABC Islands. When it's already kind of well known that the Dutch are the tallest people on average in the world, men averaging around 6'1" and women around 5'7". And once again, here's 2016 Vincent explaining.
Latest studies have shown that natural selection has been the biggest reason. Being tall is equal to being more athletic, successful and healthy. Many educated men start families after their studies. Fast forward a couple of years, with length being very heritable, and the result is a nation of giants. Yeah, we're outbreeding short people.
Religion in the
Yeah, we're outbreeding short people. But that's true. Like, all of my friends are probably as tall as I am. Well, a couple of them are like really small compared to the rest of us. But we're all around 190. I'm 196, so I'm almost 2 meters tall. My friends are also all around that, 194, 193, 190. We're like all of us are just freaking tall. So that's, I don't know, 6'10" or something like that.
Historically, the Dutch have always kind of had a counter-traditional mindset that shaped the way they developed as a nation. For one, they are one of the few remaining monarchies left in the world, technically a unitary parliamentary constitutional monarchy that limits the royal powers. And the people generally like their king. He even has a holiday to himself, and the entire country wears the national color of orange.
Yeah, also a reason that I dislike the Netherlands, they like their king. The king and his family are getting millions, I'm repeating, millions of euros a year from our tax money for not doing shit. Like all those palaces, their holidays, their personal wages, their kids, like his daughter turned 18 or something, I don't know, or 16, I don't know how old she was, and that would mean that she would get like €1 million per year, something like that, 800,000 or €1 million per year. The role of the king and queen within the Netherlands, on a political level, is none, literally none. Their powers are completely limited. They can't do shit. It's only there just of tradition and stuff. The whole royal family is living off Dutch taxpayers' money. And I repeat, it's millions of euros. It's just, it's one of the weirdest things, and I still don't know why people just like the king and that kind of stuff so much, because I think it's retarded. You're liking someone for doing nothing but using your money. It's so weird, but for some reason, as you can see, they celebrate the birthday as a national day. It's, I don't know, it's just one of the weirdest things I'll never understand. And I also don't understand that people are trying to explain that the king and queen in revenue due to business trips and relations earn their money back, or earn those millions of dollars or euros, in this case, spent on their holidays and houses and royal houses, royal palaces. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Politicians can go on those trips as well. It doesn't have to be a king or a queen. So it's really weird that they still do this. It's, for a modern country, I think it's one of the oldest retarded things to have, but whatever.
However, even though there are many genres the Dutch enjoy, electronic music reigns supreme. Most of the best well-known DJs in the EDM scene across the world are from the Netherlands. And the Amsterdam Dance Event, ADE, is the world's top and largest electronic music conference. So if you come out here...
Amsterdam Dance Event. Basically, the whole city is filled with fucking best DJs in the world, mostly of them being Dutch, and a lot of electronic dance music, so techno, house, all kinds of stuff. I still am really into that stuff. Not as much as into Bosnian music, but from time to time, I used to go to those festivals a lot, and I still like to listen to it, especially during workouts and stuff, but yeah, it's not the same anymore to me. I don't know, it was just kind of a phase, and it's also depending on my mood what I'm going to listen to. So I highly recommend you guys visiting that event. Amsterdam Dance Event is really popular, and of course you probably already know a lot of those DJs, or at least some of those DJs and their music. What do I think of this video? It's pretty accurate. I stopped the video to correct or explain some other things or make some other references. But that's about it. I can't really go against this guy because there's still some things that I didn't even know that he placed in the video, and he probably does his research very well. So I hope you guys liked this video. I did also explain some things that I think find very weird, and that I'll be explaining in a announcement video on my channel about me and my future. And you guys can stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you like this video. Don't forget to buy some hot ass merch. It's in it's below the video or in the link in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I see you in the next video. Ciao. Oh, by the way, don't forget to comment a new video idea down below. I always like new video ideas. Doesn't have to be a reaction video, just some random idea on what I could do in an upcoming video. Adios. Ciao.